Arirang Special.
One calm morning of June 25, 1950, South Koreans must have been startled and frightened by the sudden noise of attack. In that desperate moment, the bullets raining, bombs exploding, and the fellow soldiers strolling by their side, who never gave up the fight.
Canada was quick to respond when the Cold War in Korea turned hot. Among the 16 UN member states that dispatched troops to aid the South, Canada sent the third largest number. They were on the front lines, on land, in the sea, and in the air, fighting for freedom and peace on the Korean peninsula. The Korean War is often known as the Forgotten War. But the noble sacrifices of those who served a country thousands of miles away from home have not been forgotten. A group of Korean students flew thousands of miles away from home to Canada to meet with Korean War veterans. Canada became an independent country in 1876 after years of struggles between British and French claims to the territory. It's the second largest nation in the world and has much to offer, from its wide-ranging natural beauty and cosmopolitan cities to its cultural diversity. Famous for its mountains, lakes, and waterfalls, maple syrup, poutine, hockey, and snow. It's a prosperous and peaceful country with a small population. But the proportion of soldiers it sent to Korea was large, and Koreans have not forgotten. The 품앗이 movement's Thank You from Korea trips outside the nation began in the Philippines in 2011, continued in the US in 2013, and this year the group chose Canada as their third destination. They are determined to travel to all corners around the world to show their appreciation to each and every surviving Korean War veteran. Meet the 품앗이ans. The H2O or Human Harmony Organization's 품앗이 group decided that saying thank you directly to the Korean War veterans was the best way to express their profound gratitude. There is no direct English word for 품앗이, which is a traditional Korean lifestyle concept that is based on the community coming together to help one another. It involves mutual appreciation, caring, and sharing.
저는 여러분들 덕분에 평화로운 대한민국에서 태어나게 되었고 대한민국을 사랑하는 국민으로서 마땅히 참전용사들께 존경과 감사의 마음을 표현하고 싶어 편지를 쓰게 되었습니다.
Again, our descendants admire your courage. Give a big applause to the firm will that you have. And lastly, we give our constant gratitude to dear Canadian soldiers. Thank you.
These young 품앗이ans, who range from elementary school to high school age, were chosen to be part of the trip through a nationwide letter-writing contest. They came to Canada to read them out to their wartime heroes in person. Will they be able to convey their messages as they did on paper?
너무 떨리고 실수일 것 같아서 걱정돼.
막상 오니까 더 떨리는 것 같은데 아까 버스에서도 오는 길에 계속 읽곤 했는데 이게 막상 나가서 잘 전달이 될지가 제일 걱정인 것 같아요.
참전용사들에게 우리의 감사의 뜻을 표현하는 것만으로도 두 나라 간의 우정을 더 깊게 할 뿐 아니라 아이들이 스스로 6.25 전쟁을 공부하게 되고 나라를 사랑하는 마음과 또 세계 국민으로서 지구촌의 한마당을 이루는 그런 평화의 사도가 될 수 있다.
Around 9,000 Canadians that participated in the Korean War are alive today. Most of them are in their 80s, meaning the country is losing veterans every day. Many of them are being taken care of in veteran care centers, and many of them have still not fully recovered from the mental and physical wounds of war. It may be too little too late, but seeing the young Koreans up close seems to give them a reason to remember their noble deeds.
Thank you.
I'm very honored to be friends with them and to be friends with the Korean people. So I say 고맙습니다 for all your work on our behalf. And we wish you good luck in all your endeavors and in the future too. 고맙습니다.
On the way to listen about the personal wartime experiences of a Korean War veteran.
Oh, hello, is this Mr. Burnell? Oh, hello, it's me, 권소아, from Arirang Yes, and
We're visiting Warren Burnell, member and president of the Korea Veterans Association branch in Pitt Meadows, where he currently lives. He has devoted his life to making sure the Korean War does not remain as the forgotten war, or the nothing war as he calls it. Burnell has a special affection towards Korea, and it's evident from the stories he tells.
These were only spics and 7-year-olds, but they saw us with the Canadian flags. And they came over and shake our hands. Canada, Canada, you saved our country. Our kid didn't know a thing about the Korea War then. My own children didn't know much about it.
But now they do, as does his granddaughter, to whom he passes on his once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
for you to, that your grandfather was serving in the Korean War, what does it mean to you?
I realize how much the veterans really did over in Korea and how much a part of his life everything is for him and how important it is to him, which in turn makes it really important to me. Just to carry on his legacy and everything that he did, I think is important.
That's an example of...
While Mr. Burnell receives support from his family, he says he was hurt by his country's indifference for many years.
When we did get home, nobody recognized we'd been at we weren't at a war, we were at a police action. And it wasn't until the early 1990s that the Canadian government actually recognized it as a war. It took that long.
That must have angered you and many people.
Well, it did. Yeah, it angered us. An awful lot were angered about it.
July 27th, 2014. It's a sunny and hot Saturday in Brampton, Ontario. Sounds of trumpets, drums, and marching. It's the annual memorial service in honor of the 61st anniversary of the Korean War Armistice Agreement. A year before, the Canadian government declared 2013 as the year of the Korean War veteran and also designated every July 27th as Korean War Veterans Day, marking the growing significance of those who fought for peace in the Korean War.
It's fantastic that after so many years, that with so many of us here today to celebrate those who lost their life during the Korean War. And thanks to all the support we're getting from the Korean people.
I know exactly where I was 60 years ago. I was in Korea. And I know a lot of the fellows here were too. We're really honored to have had the chance to help support Korea because they've accomplished so much in their 60 years, I can't believe.
516 Canadians made the ultimate sacrifice, and each of their names is inscribed on the wall of remembrance.
살아있는 우리는 늙어가지만 여기 있는 그들은 늙지 않습니다. 나이가 들어도 쇠하지 않으며 세월을 한탄하지도 않을 것입니다. 저물어가는 석양과 떠오르는 아침 햇살 가운데 우리는 늘 그들을 기억할 것입니다.
기억할 것입니다.
The Korean War Veterans Day may have never been born without Senator Yeona Martin, born Kim Yeona, the first Korean-Canadian parliamentarian in Canadian history. It's not an exaggeration to say that you played a significant role in passing this law, so could you tell us more about your initiative there?
It was a real labor of love. For me, I knew that it was something I was really destined to do. It was just an opportunity that if we missed it, we could do it in the 65th or the 70th, but by then we don't know how many veterans would be with us. So, when an idea's time has come, we all know, and that's exactly what happened. And through the hard effort and the inspiration that I got from the veterans themselves, we now have this day enacted, and I'm just so proud.
Senator Martin is also the chairman of the preparatory committee of the 품앗이 movement's Canada tour.
I think the vision behind 품앗이, bringing the thanks from Korea to Canada, not veterans going to Korea, but Korean children coming to Canada, because they are part of the legacy of our veterans. They are proof that whatever they did, the deaths they witnessed, the friends they lost, was worth the while because they see the children healthy, full of hope, full of dreams, and they're saying in their own words, thank you for what you did.
A very unique act being carried out by the young 품앗이ans for the veterans is unfolding at this center. Foot bathing. This act of gratitude needs no explanation. A connection at the deepest level of intimacy can be felt here.
세족식은 본래는 예수님이 이제 돌아가시기 전에 그 사도들, 시사도들에게 나가서 봉사를 해라. 그래서 그런 의미에서 세족, 알 씻어주는 게 시작이 됐는데, 그러니까 기본적인 것은 이제 봉사임이에요. 어린아이들에게 사실 군인 참전용사에게 이렇게 하는 것은 그분들이 우리 한국을 위해서, 국민들을 위해서 보여준 그 최고의 희생에 대한 최고의 우리 마음의 정성을 담아드리는 그런 예식이라고 볼 수 있는데.
The Korean folk song 아리랑 is filling the venue. The Korean War veterans have not forgotten this song, despite it being so many years since the war. The 품앗이 children reminded a veteran of the Korean orphans he met during the war. 17-year-old Jiwon received a special gift.
아이야, 너는 어느 산등성을 넘어 도망쳐 나왔느냐? 고요한 아침에 나라에 어둠이 닥쳤으니 임진강 3위 천의 작은 마을에서 의정부도
The kids and teenagers did not just meet with Canadian vets on their tour, but also with Korean War participants who looked just like their own grandfathers.
진심으로 감사드립니다. 이제 참전용사들도 나이가 들어 별세하신 분도 계시고 우리 노병들은 나이가 많아 지쳤습니다. 우리 시대에는 통일을 못하더라도 여러분들이 반드시 이루어 주시기를 갖다가 확신합니다. 감사합니다.
Concerns about the still divided peninsula seem to weigh on the veterans' shoulders.
지금 세대들은 6.25에 대해서 잘 가물가물해져 가요. 자라나는 새싹들도 6.25 전의를 대해서 알아줬으면 좋겠어요. 상기해줘야 돼요. 국가에서 다른 새싹들이 역사를 모르는.
Will the youth fulfill their dreams? A glimmer of hope, as well as concern, is reflected in their eyes. Hours later, these two brothers have lived in Canada for decades since shortly after the war ended, and two other brothers have as well. The oldest of them, who has passed away, had the most hardships during the war, and also the most stories to tell.
내가 그 말을 듣고 내가 울었어. 응? 우리 한국에 와서 왜 그렇게 희생을 당하고, 우리 대한민국을 위해서, 그래 마음이 흐면서 울더라는 거야. 그래서 나도 막 울고, 나도 인지 그 말을 들으면 나도 눈물이 나와. 왜 젊은 나이에 애국 와서 그렇게 우리 대한민국을 위해서 싸움에서 적신이 했는데.
With all their eligible family members having served their own country, the brothers know more than anyone just how precious freedom and peace are. For them, the students' visit holds special significance.
젊은이들 어릴 적서부터 국가관을 심어주는데 그게 좋은 방법이에요. 국가관이 없을 것 같으면은 나라의 위기에서 나라를 구할 수가 없어요. 그러면은 국민도 없고 너도 없고 나도 없는 거예요. 그래서 국가관을 확실히 나는 대한민국 국민이다. 자유민주주의 대한민국 국민이라는 것을 확실히 느끼게끔 교육을 시켜야 된다.
하여튼 그거 잘 하는 겁니다.
예.
A roll call of lost souls in naval weather. A monument has been unveiled in honor of the 8 Royal Canadian Navy destroyers that served in the Korean War and its 9 fallen crew members. It stands adjacent to the existing Naval Ships Memorial Monument that is dedicated to the ships and seamen from World War II. The addition of a new memorial pushes recognition of the Korean War one notch higher.
My brother and I are here today on behalf of our father, who served in the Korean War, on the Iroquois, the Huron, and the Athabasca. And we're here to honor his 3 sailors that fell on the Iroquois. And we're hoping that it'll never happen again.
And I think that for these men, and especially for the Koreans that are here, that are now Canadians, this means a lot. It really does. Seeing that Canadians, I think, are pretty proud of the part that they played in the Korean War.
And that's what our country's
They are proud of the transformation Korea has undergone over the past 60 years, and those efforts to preserve the bonds forged between Korea and Canada during wartime have led to a strong partnership today. The Korean ambassador to Canada says the veterans are instrumental human resources for bolstering bilateral relations. The young Koreans have their own role too.
So what do you think of organizations like the 품앗이 movement that came today from Korea with all the students?
The 품앗이 movement is a good example of public diplomacy in international community.
And as for the young Koreans, they may learn that freedom is not free. The more they know about the outside world, the more likely they will be engaged in addressing world issues. So I think that they are future diplomats, and I'm sure that they will help to strengthening the bilateral relations between Canada and Korea in the days to come.
12 days fly past in a blink of an eye. It's time to say goodbye.
Yeah, you're a great group. You're a great group.
My buddies from Korea. Did you, way to go. Have fun.
Thank you very much. I'll miss you so much.
I missed you. I can't even talk.
The visit by the young Koreans meant much more to the veterans than just a simple thank you.
I can't even talk about it. Just when we went over there and we saw kids her size and younger, and all the pain that they're going. No. They went through a lot of stuff too.
그때 전쟁에 참여했다는 거에 선택을 후회하지 않는다고 말씀해 주셨는데 그런 이야기를 들으면서 되게 더 이제 감사함도 느끼게 되고
편지에서 말했던 것처럼 진심된 마음을 더 많이 전해야 될 것 같아요.
너희들도 직접 이렇게 가사 보면 많이 나는 걸 느끼게 된다고 말해주고 싶고 또 실제로 이분들이 우리나라를 구해주신 거니까 앞으로 생각을 하면서 살자고 말하고 싶어요.